morning, sweet friends. I must have a powerful message today because it seems that everywhere I go to share it, there is noise. So I am tucked away to just share my heart with you today as we approach chapter 6 of He Gave Me Pearls. He healeth broken little hearts, or He healeth broken hearts. I did, before I start, want to share with you the sweet teas, because some of you know me from this vlog and others of you know me from the sweet teas. If you don't know me from the sweet teas, I'm just going to bless your heart today, because this is how everything started with me, with this little cast of characters that were on a mission to touch the world with their southern grace. They took captive my dreams when I was in a very desperate time of life, when I had prayed for an idea to change my life, and I just got these beautiful little girls. And I wrote 3 books that I've published. I have more. We're just working out how to get those out to you. But the first one introduced them. The second one was The Secret of Southern Mamas. And the third one was God's Promises, saying that if you really want to be a sweet tea, you got to share in our glow. And it's got a cute little introduction about being the daughter of a king. And then it has 7 promises to bless your little heart, to make us tea strong. And then it gets to one, He healeth broken little hearts. And every section, every promise has a little intro, and then each day you can learn a Bible verse and write what you're grateful for, because I do believe, as Ann Voskamp speaks in 1000 Gifts, there is so much fruit from being thankful. The peace of God comes, just the guarding, and it's our calling is to be thankful. And so it's there. And it's interesting that my book was out when her book came out too, so I guess He had us with the same heartbeat of being thankful. So if you do love her book, then this is a good little gift book if that's on your heart, this idea of being grateful and thankful, to instill and impress in your daughters. If you're a Deuteronomy 6 girl and you're trying to impress the word upon the children, then this is a great little book just to give you a tool. It's God's promises to His little sweet teas. But this is the introduction, and I want you to indulge me, because sometimes it's the little truths that speak most to our hearts. There comes a time when all of our little hearts break. I suppose it's just being a girl, for heaven's sake. And we are truly lucky if the times are few, because most see it a little their whole life through. From loved ones to pets to the unmentionable boys, to losing our best friends and our favorite childhood toys. Some hurt a little, and some break your heart in two. But always know God can mend it for you. Remember, my sweet tea, you are the daughter of a king. The I am, He says, the one who can heal anything. Little truths for our little girls, but also for us mamas, that He can heal most anything. And when I was reading back through this chapter, I do remember that moment. I remember I went through about 2 years where I was clinging to darkness. I was clinging to, let me stay in this pit. And the only safety and the only thing I knew was this pain. And so I clung to it. And there became a day when I said, no more. I'm turning. No more. This is not of me. This is not of God. I don't want this anymore. And I had to be intentional. And I turned off my country radio. I mean, I love some country music. Can I just tell you? I love all kinds of music. But there was a season when I had to say, I cannot get in my car and hear one more song that's going to make me start weeping like I have lost my dog in the car. You know, our emotions are tied to radio, our emotions are tied to places, our emotions are tied to people. And I'm not saying cut it all off forever, but there are times when we have to be intentional. We have to protect ourselves and our hearts, guard your heart. And I had to say, okay, I'm going to pour in praise music. I'm going to seek His word. I had scriptures that would edify, that would empower me all over my house. You could open my closet, my pantry, you go to my bathroom, my bedside table. There were the words of the Lord. He healeth broken hearts. He bindeth up their wounds. Weepeth endureth for the night, but joy comes in the morning. He encamps the angel around those who love Him. I am never alone. He is with me. His angels are guarding me. I was intentional. I went to the beach one day, and for me, and if you've read this book, I say this all the time, I like to have acts to show that I'm seeking to change. It just does something for me, and it's biblical. There's lots of places throughout the Bible where God didn't part the waters until they stepped into it. And so I go to the beach, and I just write all over the sand, everything, heal it, I release it, I give it to you. And I sat and I prayed and I rejoiced as I watched the waves take it. And honestly, for me, the next day was a new day for me. yes, there were times when I had to go back and seek healing because I felt like he hadn't fully gotten that. And even today, something will happen and I'm like, okay, he hasn't fully mended that place, but I know now to seek it. And I just start turning to him and say, mend me, heal me, Lord, heal me there. But what I want to say to you today is this. If you believe the Word of God, if you believe the gospel, then you have to believe that he came to bind it up. He did not come to leave you in a pit. He did not give his son in that type of sacrificial way for you to live in a pit, for you to be a captive. And so I want you to claim victory over whatever it is that the enemy is poking you with right now. If it is brokenheartedness, I want you to know it is the enemy. He comes to steal, to kill, to destroy, not our God. Our God does not work that way. He does not operate in stealing, killing, and destroying. That is not his business. He says, I came to give life, to give it abundantly. He did not say he came to give you just a glimmer of hope. He says, I came to give life and I came to give it abundantly. So if we are in a pit that we cannot get out of, we need to be seeking Jesus. You cannot say, I'm there, my Christian life is full, I'm in a good spiritual place, and be in a pit. Yes, we go there. And yes, he will use that time in a pit to give us a powerful message that will move other women out of a pit if we are so obedient to use it. But he never came for us to dwell in the pit. He came to free us. So we have to seek the gospel. Girlfriends, we cannot say we believe and live in pits. We can't. We cannot say, this is just my story, and live there. We have to hand it over and say, I want your story. I want you to use me for your kingdom and let him bring beauty from your ashes. It is time to hand it over. And that may mean you have to get on your knees, and that may mean that you have to surround yourself with warring prayer warriors, that you need to confide in some girlfriends. I am struggling and I need you to help me to hand this over and walk it together. I mean, there is power in coming together in one accord, and we have done it. I am so blessed with girlfriends here, and I am so willing, if someone needs me, to say, I need you to fight for my marriage with me. I need you. I'm broken, I've lost something, and I need healing, and I'm having trouble handing it over, and I will fast and pray with them for God to show them that healing. But I can do so much. The prayers of the righteous are powerful, but there's a lot in us too that has to believe that he has the power to do that. So we can't just call on people to pray for us if we're not willing to hand it over, if we're not willing to walk away from doubt and despair and seek the healer, the mender, the provider, to seek him. And today I just want to encourage you. I have been in a lot of places that you have been, and I have seen the hand of God bring beauty from ashes. I would not be so passionate about this if I had not. So just look at me and look at my life and just be hopeful of what he can do. I never settled for a glimmer. I'm not settling for a glimmer now. I am seeking victory in every area of my life for him. And I also allow him to use all of my brokenness for his kingdom, because that is where healing happens. I get more messages than anything about the fact that I am transparent. Being transparent has allowed women to walk out of where they are and say, he can do the same for me. But if you're hiding your brokenness and seeking to look perfect for everybody else in your life, you're not leading people to the kingdom. You're leading people to think they've failed because they're living in brokenness. So don't be afraid to share your heart with someone that needs to know. You don't have to share it with everybody. You certainly don't have to blog it like I'm doing. But be able to look at someone who is walking where you have walked, and say, I know that. And I know what he can do when you turn to him. And that's healing. And then you will be able not only to see how he uses the beauty in your own life, how he can bring beauty from your ashes, but how he can use them to free up others. And that, right, my friends, is when your life becomes prolific and change is made and you begin to leave a legacy. And that, my friends, is your Deuteronomy 6 calling, my heart passion right now. I thank you. I love you. I'm sorry this was long, but I pray that it blessed you immensely. Have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow.